What's up guys, welcome back to the Dave Cave. Dave here, and today I'm having a look at the DC Multiverse Megafig Swamp Thing. That's the Rann version, and the Todd's Mod Swamp Thing. A little Swamp Thing focused video today, just highlighting this Megafig that's been out for a little while, and this little vinyl figure over here that kind of heralds the beginning of a new line for DC Direct and McFarlane toys. Todd's Mods there. So yeah, cool little line there. We've also got the Hush and the Bane in that line, but yeah, I just sprung for the Swamp Thing because I can't help myself, man. I am a sucker for a Swamp Thing figure. And as you'll see when I do my comparisons later on in the video, I will be comparing this guy against every other Swamp Thing figure I own. It's not too many, but I would say it's a respectable amount. Now, before we get into the unboxing, guys, just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of the channel, Culture Shock Collectables, guys. Head on over to Culture Shock Collectables, buy yourself something nice and earn yourself points that you can use for a discount on a future purchase. And if you stick around until the end of the video, I will give you a code for $5 off your next order. So head on over to Culture Shock Collectables, guys, and check out their amazing range. Now, I've got to ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And why don't you hit the notification bell if you're liking my stuff and if you want to see more of me and be notified when my stuff drops. Got some cool stuff in the pipeline, more reviews and some other fun stuff that I'm working on. So without further ado, guys, let's crack into the Megafig first. Let's do this. Alrighty guys, here is this bloke unboxed and ready for us to have a little look at. As you can see, we've got the mighty fine Mega figure over here on this awesome buck, this amazing sculpt from that awesome Swamp Thing Mega figure they gave us about a year or two ago. We've got the alternate hands there, the fists. We've got that awesome trading card there with the Rick Veitch art from Alan Moore's Saga of the Swamp Thing. And we've got the stand there, which honestly, I can't get this bloke to stand without it. Now, why is this Swamp Thing red? Are you asking that? I can definitely hear you asking that. You're screaming it at your TVs. In fact, guys, I will tell you why this guy is red. In the amazing Saga of the Swamp Thing, written by Alan Moore with various artists. Rick Veitch is the guy that does the art for issue 57 and 58, I believe it is, which are the issues in which Swamp Thing gets severed from his connection to the green on the planet Earth, and he's looking for something to tether to. He's looking for an alien world to go and explore, to find some new fauna to kind of connect with. But what he actually does find is the essence, per se, of Adam Strange as he hurtles through space on a Zeta beam on his way to the planet Rann. They have a bit of a mind meld moment, and voila, Swamp Thing finds himself on the planet Rann with a whole new ecosystem to connect with and explore. So yeah, Adam Strange kind of finds out that there's some swamp monster attacking the planet. He peels himself off of his lover, his wife. Literally, it's a very sexy book, guys. Adam Strange talks a lot about sex in that book. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I think Alan Moore was a bit of a horn dog when he was writing Swamp Thing. There's a couple of kind of sexy issues between Alec here and Abby Arcane, and yeah, issue 57 was very sexy. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I was not expecting it. But anyway, at first he believes the Swamp Thing to be a foe, but he eventually helps him out. And yeah, Swamp Thing here kind of saves the planet Rann. So it's a pretty awesome story. But anyway, guys, let's have a look at the figure here up close and personal. I've got to say, the sculpt here is incredible. You can see these kind of alien plant life pustules all over the sculpt here, and it looks fantastic. It really is sculpted nicely. There is a black wash on the back there. It doesn't need to be a black wash. Also on the front to kind of bring out some of those details, and then it looks like it's been dry brushed with a bit of yellow there to bring out some of those finer details on the surfaces. On the legs as well, you see that, the upper arms, the chest, and the head. And those are pretty much the only new parts to this figure, guys. That's the upper arms here. We've got some extra bits stuck on top of the shoulders here, the biceps there. We've got a brand new head sculpt with those pustule things there as well. That in the comic he can make rupture and uses them as some sort of attack when he's first fighting Adam Strange. Oh, and some Hawk people from Thanagar. And yeah, you can see them on the chest there as well. This is an all new chest piece. If it wasn't glued down, it would probably just lift over the head there. It's kind of weird that it's like asymmetrical on the back. It kind of hangs down to one side, but whatever. It looks cool from the front. But I gotta say, up close, that paint ain't the best, man. So yeah, a little bit of a letdown here on the paint, but look, on the shelf it's going to look mighty fine. And you know, it's another Swamp Thing, which I am just happy to have. I'm a big Swamp Thing guy, so at least it's I don't know, at least it's not like at least it's not a crappy buck, I guess. So yeah, really awesome buck that they used though, guys. Let's bring out the original Megafig and stand him up next to this guy. Let's hope he does stand. But yeah, it's a very large figure, and as you can see there, yeah, it's just freaking perfection. This is honestly one of the best Swamp Things ever. The paint on this guy was a lot better applied, I think. You can see there's that darker green on top of this, but if it's sloppily applied, it just blends in with the rest of the green. I think where this falls down is it's yellow applied to red and a dark red. So any kind of sloppily applied bits really kind of stand out. And yeah, there's just a couple of bits on the chest there, but look, it's not a deal breaker. It's still pretty awesome. Yeah, and you know, DC Multiverse, I feel like at this point, you know, we're still getting our Batmans and stuff. We're getting the odd new sculpt here and there, but when they do some reuse, man, I feel like they're getting like pretty smart about it. You know, they've been doing some good stuff lately, and it's kind of fun to see. We're getting some really interesting deep cut stuff. Like, I mean, the last review I did was the Christopher Reeve Superman, and in that review I said I would never get that villain platinum version of Superman, and then I think, you know, I saw someone's review on YouTube, and I think it was Ahsoka the Geek, who was like, I can't believe they made this figure. I can't believe we have this version of the figure. And that was all I needed to just run out and buy him straight away. I'm just a sucker for, you know, a deep cut. And yeah, I really appreciate this figure. I really like that we got it. It's 2 issues in the entire history of Swamp Thing's run, and here it is in figure form, and it's from Alan Moore's run as well, and they're pretty iconic issues as well. So yeah, really cool that we have this. I like it, and you know what, if you've got the money, if you're a Swamp Thing fan, go out and pick it up. Yeah, there's not much else I can say. If this does not appeal to you in any way, then by all means leave it. But Swamp Thing lovers, rejoice, because we've got another Swamp Thing. Let's do the Todd's mods, and then we'll do some comparisons. I'll put them all out on the table here, guys. Get all the Swamp Things all standing up next to each other. In fact, I'll even rate the kids' room for a little surprise. So yeah, be back with the Todd's mods. Alrighty guys, so here he is, the Todd's Mod Swamp Thing, and I gotta say, like, getting him out of the packet, like, sure, these are cool, you know, it's another Swamp Thing that I can add to the shelf, but like, is this $30 cool? I don't know, man. Like, I know those designer toys are like a whole thing, and it's like a thing that's kind of beyond me. Like, I don't have many vinyl like designer toys in my collection. I'm just an action figure guy, I'm a comics guy, I'm an 80s kid, I'm a 90s kid, so like, yeah, I don't like, this kind of isn't my thing, and for $30, I don't know, $30 Australian, I don't know how much you guys in the US are paying for them or anywhere else in the world, but I'm paying 30 Australian bucks for this. And it kind of stings a little, but all that said, you know what, if you've got a spare $30 and you know you want to buy a Swamp Thing, here he is, guys, here he is. I also have the Bane on the way. I don't know if I want the Batman Hush, but yeah, the paint, let's have a look at it. The sculpt is okay, the paint is like, you know, not like super accurately applied. It's not like there's any finesse given to the paint apps there. It's just kind of like splodged on here, like they've just gone, yep, brown, there's that in the middle there, like what's that, like smack bang in the middle, kind of crossing the abs and the crotch there. It looks like there's some kind of glue runoff as well from the joint, because there's like a seam going across the waist there. So you've got some like glossy paint in there, some glossy dried glue in there, so that's kind of weird. Yeah, like it's just kind of like, it's just kind of splotchy. I'm sorry if that went blurry there for a second. So look, the teeth, nothing special there, guys. The eyes are okay, but yeah, like, I mean, it's nothing special, guys. I don't know if this is $30 special. So yeah, I mean, I guess if you're big into the vinyl figures, give it a go, give it a whack. But for me, I don't know how I feel. I don't want to say that it sucks, because it doesn't suck, but I don't know, maybe it does suck for the price. I do like it. It's just the yeah, it's expensive. Maybe if it was $20, I'd be sweet. It's just like a Funko, right? But right now for 30, I don't know, man. Too much money, dude. Thankfully I get a discount, right? Yeah. All right, let's do the big comparison, man. We'll get them all out on the table. See you then. Alrighty, guys, here they all out, all of my Swamp Things laid out on the table here, guys. Let's go through them one by one. We've got the DC Direct right in the middle there, one of my all-time favorite DC Direct figures, and possibly the reason for my fascination with Swamp Thing in my later years. My older brother had this guy on the shelf, and I thought it was such a beautiful sculpt, more of a statue than an action figure, and I just loved that he had an alternate hand. I thought that was such a cool idea all the way back then in the early days of DC Direct, that a figure had an alternate hand, and you know, he's either looking at his hand there like this, or he's growing a bouquet of roses, which I think was also the same sculpt for a statue itself. So no wonder it looks so statuesque in its own right there as an action figure. Then I'm pretty sure there's a big time jump, and we've got the Mattel DC Universe Classics, I think it is. This is the San Diego exclusive. The packaging is amazing. It's like a big Swamp Thing head. It's all recyclable cardboard. I've got the two little San Diego exclusive unmen there. The arcane dudes, these little like weirdo freaks. And then this guy is all like rubbery with like an endoskeleton. So awesome figure. yeah, really, really awesome, and was probably my favorite until the McFarlane came along. But that's not to say that this guy isn't an incredible figure in his own right either. That's the DC Collectables, and from the era of DC Collectables before they really kind of tanked and the plastic got really bad. So this guy is tough as nails, man. I don't know if he's got those clear like pegs, but he's fallen off the shelf a few times and he's still intact. In fact, he just fell off the table before, fell backwards, toppled off the table, totally fine. So gotta hand it to that figure. Being a DC Collectables figure and being that sturdy, man, props to you. Then we've got Mr. Fisher-Price here, the Imaginext figure. This is my son's, my 5-year-old son's. And I gotta say, man, I thought that buying him this figure, he'd be like, what the hell is this like green thing? And he'd just like not be interested, but he was like, Dad, who is this? This guy's awesome. So yeah, told him all about Swamp Thing. He's seen Justice League Action, the Swamp Thing episode on there, which is probably too scary for him, but yeah, what can you say, man? You're a comic book fan, you love Swamp Thing, and your kid also likes Swamp Thing. What else can you do but just be proud and be like, that's my boy, right? Then we've got the McFarlane, the big bad guy, and this is, yeah, probably my favorite Megafig, man, that McFarlane have ever done. It's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. That sculpt is amazing. The head is just absolute perfection. It's just so full of attitude. It's so cool. And this thing is a character that you don't really expect a lot of attitude from, but I get it from this guy. I really like him. He's ready to fight, but then so is this guy here. And once again, like, it's such a deep cut that I'm just so stoked that we have it, even with the like paint imperfections, you know, like the sloppily applied details there. I'm still very, very happy that I own it. And then here we have the Todd's Mods, which is, you know, okay in its own right, but just like probably a little too expensive. So yeah, there you have it, guys. There's my Swamp Thing collection. We'll do a couple of quick comparisons, just a couple, and then we'll call it good. Alrighty guys, time for some quick comparisons before we call it a day. Now first up, I want to display him next to his best buddy, Mr. John Constantine there. Old Johnny boy, straight out of my Justice League Dark display with the green Swamp Thing, as well as Deadman, Dr. Fate, Ragman, Frankenstein, Etrigan, and the Shining Knight. An awesome little Justice League Dark display there that I've got going. And yeah, I'm not going to display this Swamp Thing with that display. I've got someone else in mind for him. But before I show you who I'm talking about, I'm going to display him next to one of the recent mega figures. That's the BVS Doomsday. And this guy's a really big mega fig. And as you can see, man, the Swamp Thing has about a head on him. So yeah, he's still a really big guy there, guys. But with the addition of all of that extra bulk on the top there, all of those little kind of Rannian pustules and seed pods that cover his torso, arms, and head there. So yeah, got a lot of extra plastic on this guy in addition to him already being a freaking massive figure. So let's get rid of these guys and let's bring in the figure that I'm going to display this guy with. And I've got to keep it thematic here, guys. And this is the DC Direct Adam Strange from the JLA series, I believe it is. And yeah, awesome little figure here, guys. I believe he's a 6-inch. Just a classic Adam Strange, man. Beautiful figure. And yeah, I think they look fantastic together. Really, really cool. Nice and thematic. So I'll find a spot for them to sit nicely together up on a shelf somewhere. And yeah, let's bring in Mr. Todd's Mods here. Little Mr. Swampy there, and we'll sign off there, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Please don't forget, leave the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, share the channel, man. Get DAVEcaveDAVE out there if you're vibing with my stuff. Thanks again to Culture Shock Collectables for sponsoring the channel. Head on over to Culture Shock Collectables, buy something nice, and at checkout, use the code DAVECAVE to get a sweet $5 off your order, and you'll still earn points that'll go towards a discount on a future purchase. So head on over now and tell them Dave sent ya. That's it from me, guys. Until the next review, until the next live stream, until the next Instagram post, take care of each other and buy more toys. See ya.